Better. Oi, someone pick up the damn snail! Oh, my fucking head.
Hello, you've reached the Ben Beckman pirate crew. This is Ben Beckman speaking.
Hey, Beckman, when did I make you the captain?
Last night, cabin boy Shanks, after you challenged that narwhal to a sword fight and tried hitting on that tree over there. Successfully, I might add. You officially made me captain. Paperwork's all in order.
Ah, well, carry on then.
Alright, I got it. Alright, listen up, everybody. Looks like a bunch of little brats who probably just grew their first pubic hair decided to take over one of our islands. So I think you all know what we gotta do. We gotta show them a thing or two about the Ben Beckman pirate.
Oh god, I got so trashed last night. Oh, alright, someone pry my sword out of that narwhal. We got a job to do.
Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to review One Piece chapter 875 titled A Woman's Honor. Right, so we start off with actually Brook and Chopper. You know, remarkably, I just didn't notice that they weren't riding on King Bomb along with Luffy and Nami. I mean, I guess I assumed they were there, but yeah, back when the cake fell and they were kind of like regrouping, Brook even stated, you know, we should probably go back and get the Shark Submerged 3 that we left on one side of the island, and then so they left to go get that, and then Nami and Pedro and Jinbei and Luffy, they're the ones that hopped on King Bomb and then were hoofing it to the Seducing Woods. I mean, it's a good thing they did that, because that means, like, they split their forces, so they might have been able to, they might actually be able to help out Luffy and them, but, you know, at the end of the day, I was always figuring, like, you know, if it's a matter of life or death, I mean, fuck it, you know, the Frankie can build another submarine, you know, it's probably not a big deal for him, so whatever, but yeah, the chapter begins with, Chopper and Brook in the Shark Submerged 3, and they're heading toward the Seducing Woods coast, where, the Sunny is docked. Now, remember, the ocean currents around Totland are all filled with, like, sweets and juice and jam, and in this case, even cream. So they're remarking on how, you know, like, for one thing, it's very pretty, because, like, all the colors of the rainbow are in the fucking water. That sounds like it should be, like, a Skittles commercial or something, you know? Like, all the colors of the rainbow, and then, like, a giant tidal wave just, like, washes you away, and then you know, you're in a Hawaiian shirt or something. Skittles commercials are always fucking weird. But also, aside from that, there's cream. So now the entire Shark Submerged 3 is coated in a white, gooey substance that they're remarking is like, oh man, this is gross. Oh god, it's in the rudder. Oh, it's so sticky. What the hell? I mean, look, it looks like a fantastical wonderland, Totland. You know, it's all filled with, like, an island of chocolate and an island with nuts and an island with balls. Candy balls, but you know, it's really think about this for a second now. Would this place be a place you would want to live? No, of course not. Just imagine this place, an entire island made of, like, you got fucking juice running in the river, candy mountains and shit. Bugs would be everywhere. Every step you took would be like in a fucking movie theater. It'd be like, oh god, you'd be just doused in cream constantly. Nobody would want to live here. So we cut back over to the Seducing Woods, where we see King Bomb has now been nuked by Big Mom using Prometheus, and now Luffy and Jinbei and the crew, they're left to hoof it right through the Seducing Woods. This is a problem because the Seducing Woods whole thing is trying to confuse you, so they're trying not to get split up. They mention multiple times, you know, we get split up, it's fucking over, because they're just gonna divide and conquer us at that point. Their forces are way larger than us. So if we get separated, there's no way that we would be, it would be like 1 on 10, like no matter what we do. So they're trying to stay together. Jinbei, meanwhile, is explaining Big Mom's whole hunger pangs thing to Luffy, because he doesn't even know, Luffy and Nami, they don't know anything about this shit yet. And so Jinbei is explaining it to them, like, yeah, Big Mom has these hunger urges. She craves a very particular type of food or sweet or whatever, and if you don't give it to her, then she barely even knows what she's doing until she just wreck everything in her path. It doesn't matter if it's her own kingdom or if it's her own homies, you know, she'll just destroy everything in a barely conscious state until she gets her food. And so Nami chastises Luffy, like, why did you have to destroy that cake? You know, Luffy, would we be in this situation right now? I would say that you probably would have died a long time ago. You probably would have died about an hour ago if that wasn't the case. But Luffy's response to that is, hey, our plan worked, didn't it? And I'm like, your plan worked. Okay, Luffy. All right. In the broadest context of how this situation was supposed to go down, if you're not including anything else that horribly went wrong, yes, your plan did succeed. This is like, okay, let's say you go fishing in a giant lake, and your goal is to catch a single fish. You know, I'm just gonna catch one fish. So, you whip up, like, a fucking electromagnetic bomb, chuck it in the water, electrocute the entire lake, and then, for good measure, get 10 tons of TNT airdropped onto the fucking lake, and then just... the whole thing goes up. Every single thing that was even close to being alive in the vicinity of this lake and inside this lake is now dead. Alright, no other form of life will ever be able to form in this lake, but at least you caught your one fish. So yeah, in that context, yeah, your plan did work. You did end up getting away, but a lot of shit went wrong in the process, okay? Right, so they're staying together, they're running through the Seducing Woods, they come across that bridge. Remember back when Luffy and Nami first got into the Seducing Woods, there was like a certain number of points that they kept repeating, like in a circle. Like Pound was one of them. Pound was like submerged in the ground, and they kept bumping into him. By the way, what the fuck happened to Pound? That's a legitimate question. What the fuck happened to him? He was in the woods, and then Cracker pulled him out of the ground like a fucking carrot, and then just chucked him aside. Did they kill him? What the fuck's up with Pound? Maybe he's gonna be the one to show up and save the day. I don't know. But another place that they kept repeating was that river that had a bridge over it, and Carrot even brings up, like, I thought that bridge was broken the last time we're here, and like, no, it's back to being in full working order, but you still shouldn't run over it because the whole point of the forest is it screws you over. All the trees are acting like, all molestery again. Molestery, that's a word, look it up. So they're trying to figure out what to do here. Meanwhile, Zeus is still chasing them, and they bring up the only reason that they haven't been killed yet is because Big Mom is now on foot as well. They mention that if Zeus ever goes back to Big Mom, they're just instantly killed, you know. But Big Mom keeps, you know, shouting towards Zeus to bring him back. You know, Zeus, get back here, you fucking lazy cloud bastard! But Nami keeps on giving out the weather balls, the black balls or whatever, the eggs or whatever that Zeus loves to eat. So Zeus is still, I guess, inherently following Big Mom's cravings because he is split from Big Mom's own soul, so I guess hunger just trumps anything, even like a command from Big Mom herself. Oh, and by the way, they also bring up that even though Nami does still have Big Mom's Vivara card, it just has no effect anymore on the people, on the trees, and on the homies in the forest. Because thanks to Big Mom's presence being there, it's like the Vivara card is like 0.01% of Big Mom's essence. Meanwhile, you got the other 99.99% right behind you, so the Vivara card is just being washed over. It's the main presence emanating from Big Mom, which is emanating from the essence of Mother Caramel that is still probably trapped inside her in some way. Oh my god, if souls exist in the One Piece, well, I guess they do because Brook is a thing. If a soul exists, would it be possible that Mother Caramel's tortured soul is still bound inside of Big Mom's gut? I mean, she was a pretty fucked up person, selling kids into slavery and for the world government and all, but damn, no one deserves that torture. Right, so even though Zeus is still on their side, you still have Prometheus chasing after them. And I guess Big Mom can't ride on Prometheus because he's made of fire. I mean, come on now, guys, come on. You can't ride on a condensed ball of fire. That's just ridiculous. You have to ride on a condensed ball of moisture. That makes perfect sense, right? But anyway, yeah, Prometheus is catching up, so Luffy decides to do something. I mean, you don't know if it's gonna work, but you gotta do something. So he breaks out Gear Second Jet Gatling with Armament Hockey. Keep in mind, Jet Gatling, same move that pounded Lucci into a wall back in the Ennie's Lobby arc, and it does diddly dick to Prometheus. Although I have to bring up a little note here. I always thought that whenever Luffy added Armament Hockey to his Gear Second techniques, he always added the prefix Hawk to it. You know, now, I know what you're saying, you know, oh, he only does that when he lights it on fire. No, he doesn't. When he uses Red Hawk, that's the one that he lights on fire. But he's used Hawk Rifle, he's used Hawk Whip, and neither of those I don't think were on fire. I don't think when he used like Hawk Whip, he lit the whip on fire. So I just assumed that whenever he, you know, used Gear Second in Armament Hockey, he just added Hawk to it. But here we are just using everyday, you know, run-of-the-mill Jet Gatling. So, you know, I don't know if that's a thing on Oda's part he forgot, or maybe Luffy does have a naming scheme, I don't know. But anyway, he pummels Prometheus, and yeah, he's pounded into like oblivion for a second there. His mouth is all gaping and damaged, but once again, he's just a ball of condensed fire, so he just poofs himself back into existence. And Luffy mentions that, oh, damn, even with Armament Hockey, it doesn't do anything. So there you go, there's your answer. I know there's a lot of things always brought up, like, let's say you're dealing with a Promethean, not a Promethean, a Paramecia type devil fruit that is able to create something like an effect. And if that effect is hit with Armament Hockey, would it have the same effect as with hitting the user? Like, for instance, let's say Bartolomeo. Let's say Bartolomeo summons a barrier, and I guess Shanks would be somebody, because that actually might happen pretty soon, because Bartolomeo pretty much pissed off, you know, Shanks in attacking one of his islands. But let's say Shanks pulls out his sword, Armament Hockey's up his sword, and then attacks Bartolomeo's barrier. His barriers are supposed to be impenetrable, but they're still created by a devil fruit, so with adding Armament Hockey to a sword, cut through his barrier. Kind of the same thing here, similar question, the homies are created using a devil fruit, so is using Armament Hockey still going to be able to damage them? Not nullifying them, mind you, because that's never what Armament Hockey was able to do. Armament Hockey doesn't nullify Devil Fruit users or their effects, it just allows you to get solid hits on things that would otherwise be intangible. But yeah, in this case, Prometheus is immune to it, so he just swells up even bigger into his evil sun form and begins to chase after Luffy, and Luffy brings up, oh man, he's even worse than the Logia type. And you know what? This is a point where I realize, you know, Luffy's not much for book learning. I mean, he's a genius on the battlefield, he's not an idiot, he's just not the book learning kind of guy. But Luffy knows his damn devil fruits, okay? He can keep it in his head like, okay, there's Logia, and there's Zone, and there's Paramecia, and Logias can do this, and Zones can do this, and Prometheus, hey, maybe he's been watching my videos. Luffy's maybe a fan of mine, and he's brushing up on all of his different devil fruit, you know, abilities. So good job, Luffy. I always like a fan. Zeus brings up, you know, I'll be right there, bro. Just wait for me to finish these yummy thunderclouds. Meanwhile, Jinbei, I mean, they're near a river, so even in the Seducing Ones, you know, a river's still a river, whether it be made out of orange juice or, you know, juicy juice or Sunny D or whatever. Oh my god, I hate Sunny D. Sunny D tastes like, I think there was like a show once that did like a sketch around Sunny D, and they said it tasted like orange juice with perfume in it, and that's like perfect dead on. I've always hated Sunny D. Anyway, he breaks out water from the river and uses his Fishman Karate Spear Wave Passing Shower. That's a kind of a long name. You could have just called it Passing Shower, Spear Wave. That's cool. Anyway, though, because Prometheus is a ball of fire, you know, water works very well on him, and it takes a while for him to reform afterwards. Big Mom is still charging forth. You got a little bit of a taut boat with a bunch of the homies in it heading toward them, and eventually they all clash. Pedro clashes with this weird kind of scarecrow-looking thing that apparently knows his name. He's like, Pedro, was it? And then Pedro's kind of looking at him like, what? So I don't know what's up with this, because this guy does does freak me out. This weird scarecrow knight-looking homie. So I'm thinking maybe if Big Mom is able to rip the life force out of whoever she wants, and she could just hold on to that life force and then toss it into an object or another animal to make a homie, that might be, and like maybe they retain the memories a little bit. I mean, I guess they don't. Like Randolph is a homie, and I don't think he retains like memories from when, you know, the human he was ripped out of, but maybe, I don't know. My point that I'm trying to get across here is maybe that's Zeppo's life energy. Zeppo being the other member of the Nox pirate crew that Pedro was part of, and Zeppo ended up dying at the hands of Big Mom, ripping out his life force, so maybe, you know, this scarecrow homie has some connection with Zeppo, or maybe another mink that Pedro knew in his past. I don't know, they just seem to be focusing on this thing. It just seems a little bit creepy to me. Right, so they're starting to get surrounded by all the homies, they're trying not to get separated, and that's when, Zeus decides to just straight up suck on Nami. Rod. Suck on Nami's rod. Okay, we're good. So anyway, yeah, Zeus consumes all of the weather balls from Nami's Climattack, like, directly from the source, and then begins to billow out into a fucking black cloud of sheer death, and yet somehow a little bit of adorableness. And so they're freaking out, because they have no idea what's going on here. He's tripping out like an ecstasy. He's like, it's so good! I am the god! It's like he just shot cocaine. He's like, yeah, I'm the thunder god, bitch! Which I would say Eneru might have something to say about that, but he's a little bit indisposed at the moment. Oh, hell to the no. What's up, Captain Eneru? Oh, someone's gonna be getting a cease and desist order, that's what's up. By the way, how's the completion of the ancient weapon? Everything's great, sir. The ancient weapon, Oranos, has been resurrected from the moon, and you're ready to begin your invasion of Earth. Haha, excellent. Soon it will be time for my glorious second coming. And this time, I'm gonna pound the shit out of that little rubber bastard. If that actually happens, I want some money, Oda. I mean, come on now. That's a very specific thing to predict. That Eneru's going to awaken the ancient weapon Oranos and come and resurrect it and attack Earth, and he's going to attack Luffy again. That's a very specific thing. But if that happens, I want some royalties, alright? I earned it. Okay. Anyway, they're all about to be destroyed by the homies and Big Mom's there, but then you also have Zeus, and, you know, I gotta give Nami some credit. She's actually thinking about it. Now, maybe she, like, tried to use her Climattack, but it didn't work, and she catches on right away. The reason it doesn't work is because all of the weather balls that were contained in the Climattack, maybe there's like a set amount that can be created, and they can't make more as long as there's more that are active. But anyway, she figures that all of the weather balls are currently inside Zeus. So she makes a gamble here. I mean, she doesn't know that this is gonna work, but she gets everybody move out of the way. And then, because the weather balls are in Zeus, she attempts to control him, raises up her Climattack, and then uses Breeze Tempo. And despite having kind of a shitty name, I mean, come on, Nami, Breeze Tempo? Couldn't you have come up with something a little bit better? I know it's a little bit off the cuff. I mean, all this shit's going on. You probably didn't have a lot of time to think about it, but you were cognitively aware enough to figure out, wait a second, my balls are in the giant cloud. I will use giant cloud to attack Big Mom. You could have come up with something cool, like Zeus's Retribution or something fucking kick-ass like that, but whatever. She uses her Climattack, Breeze Tempo, and then just Spiral fucks up Big Mom right off the freaking head. Holy shit, is Nami doing the most damage to Big Mom this entire arc? I mean, I know Brook did a little bit of psychological damage, breaking the Mother Caramel picture and all, but so far, we've had Nami taking control of her homies, Nami getting Zeus away from her and having her land on her fat ass, Nami controlling one of her own homies and using it against her to launch a fucking thunderbolt of damnation right down her freaking throat. Damn, I can understand maybe a few people getting upset by that, because this isn't, like, you expect, like, Luffy of all people to fight against her. You know, I mean, Luffy did have that clash with her where he went gear fourth, but screw it, I'm having fun with this. Nami's fucking shit up. You go, girl, damn. Right, so the thing detonates like a freaking nuke, and everybody, Pedro, Luffy, Jinbei, they all freaking duck out of the way, out of the blast radius. Now, look, to be fair, this is still one of Big Mom's own homies. This is still like Nami was basically attacking her with her own soul. So even though it was like a really flashy, devastating attack, I don't think this did a lot of damage to her. I mean, I really don't see it. At the absolute maximum, what it might have done is because Zeus was being manipulated by Nami, and because it slammed back into Big Mom, I'm thinking maybe she might have actually dissipated Zeus. Zeus's soul might have been sucked back into Big Mom or something, so you might not have to deal with him anymore at all, you know? Maybe like that would be the most that might have happened, but I don't think Big Mom's gonna be seriously like encumbered by this or like have a scar or any serious injury from this, because she's still being attacked with her own soul. I don't see it doing a lot that much damage. But anyway, from all the other members of the Big Mom Pirates, the ones that are on the Sunny, and then you have Brook and Chopper that are also make it to the Sunny as well. They don't know what happened. They just witness a giant fuck off lightning bolt and big explosion from the Seducing Woods, and Katakuri and Perospero, they figure out, oh, well, Big Mom must have just finished him off with Zeus. Okay, well, then your crewmates are dead, so there you go. Brook and Chopper are looking at it like, oh my god, we don't know what's going on. They're alive, right? They're kind of scared. Now, Katakuri and Perospero actually give Chopper and Brook an out here. They actually say, Perospero comes forward, all the chest soldiers are holding all their bows pointed at them, and they say, hey, look. You know, Luffy and, you know, Jinbei and everybody that was like a major threat, they all got just incinerated. We'll let you guys go. If you want to take that little fucking submarine of yours coated in a mysterious white substance, okay, whatever, I'm not going to tell you what you do in your own free time, what's right or wrong, but anyway, you want to get in that little submarine and you just want to, like, pooter away, we'll let you do that. Now, I don't think they would have let them do that. I think they would have let them get in the submarine and scoot away, and then it's like, alright, sink their asses, you know, like, come on now, they're not going to let them get away, but this is just a point for Brook and Chopper. You know, Brook breaks out his soul solid, Chopper goes, Kung Fu point! And he's like, we refuse, we're not fucking, you're on the Sunny, you're on our ship, you're on our turf, dog! So then they break out their attacks and they start going after Katakuri and Perospero. Now, I don't know how this is gonna pan out. But, you know, Chopper goes monster point, Brook breaks out maybe his soul power, you know, to wipe out the chest soldiers, you know, maybe, you know, Brook fights against Perospero, Chopper monster point takes on Katakuri. Maybe it might last a little while, I don't know. Last scene of the chapter is we have Pudding and Chiffon heading toward the Seducing Woods. Once again, they don't know what's going on either. They're just seeing the smoldering ruin of the attack. But they're talking about how you gotta help make the cake, whatever. Chiffon's on board now. And Chiffon has a little bit of a flashback remembering when she left Beijing. And she's remembering how, like, you know, it's one thing just to say, oh, thank you so much for helping out Lola and everything like that. That's one thing. But it's another thing altogether to actually put your life on the line here. That's true honor right there. That's what you really should be doing. Not just saying, you know, oh, well, thank you guys for helping me out. Thanks to the Straw Hats. You really helped me out big time. No. They put their life on the line. I'm going to put my life on the line, and that's what it really means. And so that's when she departs from Beijing's castle, and she tells him, you know, take care of Pez if I'm not back, you know, and Beijing's like, oh, wait, I'm not set out to be a father. I mean, I know I'm a father in the figurative sense, but not a biological. I don't know how to change diapers, okay? You can't leave. But anyway, yeah, that's actually kind of a little bit of a heartbreaking scene, because Beijing is this big, tough mafia boss, but he still cares a lot about his wife and about his kid, right? So, Chiffon leaves. I'm hoping she doesn't die now, because we had that. But they arrive at the forest, then they look down, and you have this weird scene with Pudding, where at first she's all like, it's Sanji, and you see little hearts in the speech bubble, but then the last panel of the chapter, her third eye is back, and they have like their evil glare, and then she's like, that fool's right here. So it's kind of like, Sanji, he's right there, the idiot. So are they doing this thing where Pudding is bipolar? That would actually make a lot of sense. Yeah, I guess they are, considering that she's mixing back and forth between the I want to kill him to the I want to fuck him. Kill, fuck, kill. You could, whatever, it's the same thing. Okay, so end of the chapter. Holy shit, a lot of stuff went down here. Like I said, I think a lot of people might get pissy about Nami dealing all these hits and all these kind of like pseudo victories against Big Mom, like, I'm gonna steal your cloud and everything. I don't think she's going to be damaged. I think it's just Nami's abilities are the best suited to fight against Big Mom, who uses, elements of the weather to fight against them. And she has the Vivara card, which, hey, who knows? Maybe the Vivara card might give her a little stat boost. Not much, but might give her, like, +5 effectiveness to Big Mom, whereas everybody else doesn't have any hope of damaging the bitch. So it's, like, in conjunction with the fact that she's divvying out, weather-based, like, attacks that are attracting Zeus, and she's got the Vivara card, maybe that is the thing that's leading the two. And even the big, huge, attack, I don't think that's gonna really damage Big Mom. And it might stun her for like a few minutes for them to get away, but I don't know anything beyond that. You still have the situation with the Sunny, you still have the situation with Katakuri and now Perospero being there. I don't know how they're gonna deal with that, because the Straw Hats come out of the forest, even if Big Mom is stunned, you still got Katakuri and them to take them on. I mean, yeah, maybe if Luffy and Jinbei and Pedro and Nami and Brook and Chopper all team up, all strongest attacks, the chest soldiers aren't a big deal. Brook can handle them with just one strum of his fucking guitar, but Perospero and Katakuri, those are going to be big hurdles, and they have to just get them off the Sunny, and then they still have to escape her territory, which takes days. It's going to take days to get out of their territory. Even if they just immediately get on the fucking ship and just coup-de burst the fuck out of there, they're still going to be stuck in her territory. And they can't just keep coup-de burst, coup-de burst, coup-de burst. You got a limited cola supply, and Frankie's not there, and Usopp's not there, so do they even know how to do that if they needed to? I don't know. But yeah, I guess Pudding, split personality, she really shouldn't be on the crew now. I mean, I could see that maybe being somewhat of a running gag, where Pudding's now part of the crew, and then Sanji, like, here is your breakfast, my dear. Oh, thank you so much, my knight in shining armor. 3 hours later, here is your lunch, my dear. Fuck you! So maybe that's a running gag. That'd be kind of kooky, but for the most part, stay away from her, Sanji. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. I told you last time, but it's not worth it. Sex might be good, but it's not worth it, trust me. Okay, anyway, that's the chapter. Maybe, and they're still nowhere near making a cake. Like, a cake is still not even in the fucking, they're not even preheating the oven yet. They don't even have an oven. Okay, so I don't know how they're gonna make this damn cake. But moving forward, I guess, we still only have like 1 or 2 chapters of this arc left, so it's gonna wrap up really soon, and I think it's going to be something that's going to surprise all of us. I don't think it's going to involve the cake. I don't think it's going to involve like a big epic battle. It's probably going to be something that just pops out of nowhere that allows all the Straw Hats to get on the boat and then leave. So that's that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the review. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Later, guys.